Hello and welcome to my channel Pimby Beauty. If you are new to my channel, my name is Juliana. So today I'm going to finally be playing with my palette from Martine Cosmetics. I've got two palettes from them. I've got the 669 palette as well as the 1988 palette. This was the one I got first and I insisted I would never buy this palette because of the name, but I love the color story so much that I couldn't resist, so I finally bought it. And this palette has been around for about a year now, so it's been everywhere. So it's not exactly a new palette, but this is the inside of the palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it's like your dark cool tones. It's just mysterious. I really loved it, so I eventually caved in and I bought it. So it's one of the palettes I'm going to be using today. And this is the inside of the 1988 palette. So I do have the swatches of this palette on my Instagram. I'm hoping I can incorporate this palette somewhere in today's look, possibly my lower lid. I don't know, but I will try and incorporate some of the colors in today's look, as long as it doesn't dilute the uniqueness of the 669 palette. Yeah, so I think the greens around this area is calling my name today, so I'm possibly going to be focusing on this, or I might do a two-tone look. I'm not too sure, but we'd have to see. Okay, let's get into the look. Okay, like I said, this side is calling my name, so I'm going to be starting with that green. This green, although there's no blending shade in this palette, which is where the 1988 one is going to come in, but yeah, this is what that looks like. I'm just going to put that at the height of my crease. I don't even know what their formula is like, so I'm learning today. I'm just going to take my time and approach the formula gently until I get used to it. I mean, it doesn't seem too different to what I'm used to, so that's good. So just deepening up that shade on my crease. I'm not taking it too far back into the outer corner yet, because I don't know what I want to do with that. Yeah, just concentrating on my crease. I suppose to blend it out, I could either use that green or the other one, the cool tone one right here. Yeah, so these are my choices. I'm tempted to go with this one, but I think the range is too different. So I might start with this one. This one is called Sabrina. I might start with Sabrina, and then if I need this, then I'll go for it. Sabrina, I feel like still a bit dark, but I suppose it will help. Yeah, it's going to turn out a little bit smoky because it's just a different tone. I'm going to try it anyway. Yeah, see, it's way too dark. Alright, swapping to the lighter green now. This one is called Rebecca. Yeah, this one is much better. To be honest, that's still too dark really to fade into the crease, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it looks bad, but it's not what I'm going for. I just want something that'll be perfect to blend out the first green I applied. Okay, going back to that first green, Lavina, I'm just going to kind of intensify that back on my crease. Okay, I'm going to start building my outer edge now, and I'm going to go with this shade called Rebecca, I think. Yeah, Rebecca. Because that's the lightest of the green, I'm going to use that on the outer corner of my lid. And if I need to build the darker green more, then I'll do that later. But this is easy kind of to start building up on my outer edge. Yeah, compared to using the darker shade, this will just kind of like blend better, I feel like. Right, now that I've got Rebecca laid down, I'm going back to the first shade I used on my crease, and I'm going to start building the outer part of my lid now. It's easier to blend this black shade on top of the lighter shade without getting out of hand. I'm also bringing it onto my lower lid as well, just on the outer edge. I want to use a different color for the inner part. Okay, it looks to be building nicely and it's not patchy, so I'm going to gently start itching towards my brow bone now. Not too far. I still want that lighter green to be showing, but I need to darken the outer part of my lid. Alright, for the inner part of my lid, I'm going into the 1988 palette and I'm taking this light green. It's called Lally, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if this brush is a right brush, but it's like a packing brush. And I'm gonna put that. Wow, so that seems to be showing up nicely, and I'm just gonna blend it with the darker green on my lid. I'm gonna do more blending around here, but I want them to kind of like speak to each other, so I prefer this shade in the inner corner here. It's kind of nice and bright. I might have to cut my lid. I don't know how it's gonna look on top of that dark green. I want that light green to be on my crease. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up, but I'm gonna try without cutting my crease first. Oh, seems to be showing up. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to put shimmer over it, so I'm not too bothered about what it looks like. If I was just doing a no matte look, then I would definitely cut my crease, but the green seems to be popping on the darker green, so I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to go with a flatter brush with the same shade, just so I can get right into my crease and shaping it up, you know, like a cut crease. The other one I used is like a packed brush, so it couldn't do like precise work, but this one is pretty much flat. I can like cut my crease with this. Now going back into the packed brush because I want to pack the color on now that I've got the shape I want. So this one is helping me with the pigmentation on top of that dark green. I'm quite impressed. I didn't think it would show on top of the dark green, but it did show. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put shimmer on it anyway, so I'm not really bothered that it's not like power or the effect of the darker green under the light green. I just want that base, you know, before I put my shimmer. But yeah, I kind of like that. Alright, for my lower lid, I can't decide whether I want a red or pink. I don't know, when I woke up today, I just wanted something red on my eyes, but I don't think it's gonna go with this look. So I think I'm gonna go for the pink, so this bright pink. So I'm gonna put on my lower lid. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that one. Alright, going with like a, I don't know what this brushes used to be called. They used to come in those old palettes. It's like a foam. So that's what I'm using to apply the pink shadow. This is gonna help me not go too out of control. I tend to kind of go out of control on my lower lid. I want today's lower lid to be kind of controlled and compact and not too much on the lower part of my lower lid. Basically not go too much into my crease, so this is good. I think it's adding to the impact as well, because I didn't really put too much eyeshadow base on my lower lid. Alright, I think I want to try the red just after that pink. I don't know what it's going to look like or whether it will make any difference, but yeah, I think it's making a difference. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the mixture of pink and red is always so beautiful. And then going back into the green on my outer corner, I'm just going to blend it into the red. Just make sure that they are all speaking to each other nicely. Yeah, I think that's nice and blended in, so it's time for the shimmers now. Alright, starting with this shade Medusa. I'm going to put that on the outer part of my lid. So it is a purple green multichrome. Just blending it with dark green on the outer part of my lid. Next I'm going with this green, that one right there, and it's called Zelda, and that's what it looks like. Looks like all these names are from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I didn't even notice, because I know Sabrina. I've watched something that was Sabrina, and now Zelda was Sabrina's auntie. Alright, looking at this they are different witches kind of name. Freya, isn't that from the originals? I think Freya is one of the sisters. Yeah, definitely. Then Medusa, of course we know what Medusa is. Ursula, yeah, the octopus. I never even looked at the name. Then there's a shade called Willow. Anyway, going with that Zelda shade and blending that into the first shade I took, Medusa. So back and forth between those two first. Get that blend right before I go for any other color. Okay, Yeah, I'm satisfied with that blend, so we're gonna go for the next shade now. Alright, next two shades I'm gonna put on my lid are coming from the 1988 palette. So the first one is that green, and then the one in my inner corner will be that yellow. So the green one is called Aline, and then the yellow one is called Jill. So this is Aline and this is Jill. So Aline is going next then to the Zelda shade. And then Jill towards the inner part of my lid. I'm going to use a brush as well, but I just want to show you with my fingers first. Yeah, that is beautiful. So back to Aline. In the palette they look very different, but on the eyes there isn't so much. Whether it's because I'm blending the yellow into the green, I was expecting like a powwow kind of difference, but not really. I mean, it's not bad, it just means that it blends into each other well, as long as it doesn't blend too well. Yeah, to the point where it disappears. So going with a brush now to get a precise application. So this is the Aline shade. So I'm using that on my crease to kind of shaping it. And then going into Jill, I'm going to bring that again into the outer part of my lid towards my inner tear duct. I'm going to take a little bit of Jill to outline the edge of the cut crease, just to brighten that place up. So I'm laying it over Aline. Yeah, like that. That is beautiful. So going back with Zelda, I'm going to blend nicely into everything now. And then bring Aline again. So just make sure that there isn't demarcation between the shimmer shades. And then for the highlight shade in my lower lid, I'm going to use this one. This one's not very metallic. I think it's like a satin shade. So this one is called Elodie. Yeah, it's not very metallic at all, but that's what I'm going to put in the inner part of my lid. Yeah, it's gritty with shiny stuff, but it's not very metallic. Okay, on a final note, before I do my waterline, I'm going to bring Jill into the lower part of my inner corner of my lower lid. I don't like how it is. I want it to pop, you know, as much as the upper lid. Might be a bad idea, but I'm going to lay Jill on the lower part of my lid, just like that. Yeah, so that they have some sort of common ground. So on the pink, the yellow is got darker because I'm laying it over the pink, but I don't mind that. It's better than what it was looking like before with the pink. Okay, now that that's done, the next thing is just to apply my waterline liner, my lid liner. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, because the eyes look really bright. It's almost like I need something to bring it out. I don't know whether the herring color is throwing it off as well. So I might change that first before I apply my liner and see what it looks like. Alright guys, I'm back with the finished look. So I'm going to just quickly go over everything I used to complete my look. So for my lipstick, I used a mixture of Plain in Makeup by Yolondo Memories and Colourpop's Heart On. Yeah, so this is Colourpop. I first put the Colourpop on, but it wasn't as opaque as I wanted, so I put Memories from Plain in Makeup by Yolondo over it. Plus the Memories is brighter than the one from Colourpop, so that's what's on my lips. Alright, for my waterline, I used a combination of two shades. So I used yellow in the middle and then green on the outer corner and the inner corner. So this green Limelight from Plouise is the one on the outer and the inner, and then the yellow one is the one in the inner. I think this one is called Golden Treasure, and that's what's on the inner part of my lid. I really like this one because most yellow inner corner liners are fine. I'm not 100% satisfied with them, but this one is very good. In fact, sometimes it's too bright for me. Yeah, I have to tone it down, which is why I mixed it today, because when I used all yellow, it was just so in your face, so I had to bring it down with that green on the outer part of my waterline. And I used 3 liners for the graphic work on my eyes. So I used the yellow. This is the one in my crease. This one is from Slay Ready Cosmetics. And then the black liner I use is from Plain in Makeup by Yolondo. It's just called black. The one from Slay Ready is also called just yellow, but they are called Little Liners, the series. Then on top of the black, I did use a pink one, which is called Fuschia. and that's from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo as well. Alright, I think that's everything I used them to finish my look, and this is the eyes up close. To be honest with you, with the graphic liners, I could have gone on and on and end up messing everything. I always enjoy, but I think it added some more beauty to the eyes because the yellow defined the yellow and green part in my inner corner away from the green and kind of gave it a distinct pop. And I think the pink, because I was kind of like worried, the pink under my lid wasn't really gelling with me, and I think part of it was because I had red earrings on. So once I swapped my earrings and put on a pink lipstick, it started to make more sense, but I still thought it needed a little bit pop of pink somewhere on my eyes, so which is why I used pink on top of the black liner. I have to say, with the lipstick though, the one from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, I just sort of feel is a bit patchy. It might be because I already laid this one down on my lips first before I apply this. This is the first of our lipsticks I've kind of like feel a bit iffy about, so I'm going to try applying it on its own before I make judgment on it. But yeah, on top of the one from Colourpop, it felt a bit patchy to me. Yeah, okay, let's talk about the palette, or palettes I should say, because I did use a combination of the 669 palette as well as the 1988. So I'm going to start with the 669 palette. So this is not a new palette. I mean, everybody's seen it, you've seen it, I've seen it many million times, but my opinion, I was surprised. It's of a very light formula. Now the mattes, yeah, they were opaque, they were nice, they were blendable, they weren't problematic or anything like that. But with the shimmers are very light. That's not necessarily a problem. I kind of suspected because I swatched it with my fingers before I started this video, and I felt it was light, which was why I used the BH Cosmetics glitter primer. So BH Cosmetics glitter primer has substance to it. It kind of like gives more pigment to any shimmers you use, which was why I used this as opposed to the JD Glow one I've been using for a while. Now the JD Glow one, because it's very light, is good for chunky shimmers, which is why I've just kind of like stuck to that for a while. Coincidentally, the name is called Stock. But anyway, the shimmers in this palette are quite nice. I think for beginners they are really good because they just kind of like glide on the lids beautifully. No stress, no effort, no fallout, no, it was just very smooth, really smooth shimmers. Yeah, that's what I would say for this. And I think the formula kind of matches the matte formula as well, so I enjoyed this palette today. And for my inner corner, the look I was going for today, I couldn't find the matte shades in this palette. Not necessarily a problem, I had to go to, it's because I had a 1988 palette. I mean, saying that though, it is a dark palette, so as long as you know that, yeah, and I knew that it was a dark palette. For the first time of using it, I struggled with what I would have created from this palette. I think I would have gone red option as I originally thought, because I don't know, I just felt that was the thing that kind of pops out to me more when I look at the palette. I would have gone with a red option or something black and then blend out with the red, because it's just dark. Personally, for my choice, I'm not sure I would ever use the palette on its own and be satisfied with the look I get. I mean, I can create a look from it, that's not an issue, but will I be completely happy with that look? That's a different thing. So I'm not too sure about that. That's, for me, is, I won't even call it a downside personally, because I like to use more than one palette, so for me it's not really a downside. With the 1988 palette, I love the color story of this palette. I mean, I haven't used it before. Today is the first time I'm using this one as well. Again, the reason why I haven't used it is because it's a rainbow palette. I mean, it's a rainbow palette. It's got blue, green, is a rainbow palette. But I find that in combination with this, which I never thought of, in combination with the 669 palette, is magic. And to be honest, I did not even think of, because I never intended to get the 669 palette. It was just this one I was going to get. And I've never really been that encouraged to pick up the palette, especially because the shimmer shades are not very pop in your eyes. They are like, they've got like I want to say they've got grit in them, but they are not very metallic. I mean, the most metallic are the ones I used today, which is that yellow and the green one here. But with the rest, they are like a toss between shimmer and satin. Yeah, which is not my favorite formula really. But I mean, for an everyday look, they will be perfect because they will just stick to the lid. And I think they really work well with that BH Cosmetics glitter primer to just give it an extra oomph or the extra substance really when you're applying them on the eyes. I mean, you saw with the pink one, it's not really metallic. I had to put the yellow over. it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I have different singles, but for people that want to just buy it and use it on its own, you have to be comfortable with normal shimmers, you know, like the shimmer we had it back in the days. Yeah, you have to be comfortable with that. But if you're expecting shimmers that we are used to now, yeah, it's not in this palette. It is in the 669 palette, but just not in the 1988 palette. But overall, I love the formulas. I love the look I created today. A combination of both of them, I think, is bomb and gold. So I will continue to use them together or with other palettes. Yeah, this on its own, I find it a bit boring. This on its own, too dark. But together, I think that they're a perfect match, and that's my opinion. Now it doesn't matter whether you have this one or you have this one or the other, or whatever, or you don't even have any of them. What does it matter? I mean, there's so many palettes that look alike these days. Just dig out what you have. I just wanted them partly because I've never tried a brand before, and also because I like the 669 palette, and I thought I could console myself with the 1988 palette and forget about the 669 palette, but it turned out I couldn't. I eventually bought it anyway. If I had a choice, I think I would have just bought this 669 palette because I have this color story many times over. But I'm glad I have it. I don't regret buying it, not at all, not in the least actually. Yeah, so that's my opinion of the two palettes I tried from Martine Cosmetics today. Yeah, that's my review of those two palettes. Okay, that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me and you've enjoyed the creation of this look. If you have enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'll see you.